It's Miss Nancy here. I'm sorry that we couldn't be together today to plant the library garden, but we can be together to share stories and songs. So let's start off today, our Garden Day story time, with a song. Well, hello everybody, can you clap your hands? Clap your hands, clap your hands. Well, hello everybody, can you clap your hands? Clap your hands. Well, hello everybody, can you pat your knees? Pat your knees, pat your knees. Well, hello everybody, can you pat your knees? Pat your knees. Well, hello everybody, can you wave hello? Wave hello, wave hello. Well, hello everybody, can you wave hello? Wave hello. That was great. We're going to start off with a story. Our first one today is called Painting a Rainbow by Lois Ehlert. And I'm not sure about planting a rainbow. Can we plant a rainbow? I'm not sure. Let's see what happens. Every year, Mom and I plant a rainbow. In the fall, we buy some bulbs and plant them in the ground. So there are a few different ways to plant flowers, and one of the ways you can start flowers is by bulbs. Tulips come from bulbs, daffodils, hyacinths. We're going to find in the book a few other ways we can plant flowers, but bulbs is one of the ways. We order seeds from catalogs and wait all winter long. So seeds is another way we can start flowers. For spring to warm the soil and sprout the bulbs. See, the roots are coming down into the soil and the leaves and flowers are starting to come up above. Then it's time to go to the garden center to select some seedlings. So these seedlings here are like little baby plants. And so along with the bulbs and the seeds, seedlings are another way we can start growing a garden. We sow the seeds and set out the plants in soil. And watch the rainbow grow. I don't see a rainbow yet. Let's see what happens. And grow and grow. Look at all the beautiful colors. We have some red flowers, but I'm going to stop for a minute and point out the colors of the rainbow we have here. So I don't know if you boys and girls know the trick for remembering the order of the colors of the rainbow, but it's Roy G. Biv. R is for red, O is for orange, Y is for yellow, G is for green, B is for blue, I and V are for indigo and violet. So I think this is how we have our rainbow that they plant. So we have some red flowers and orange flowers and some yellow blooms. We grow something green. Those are some ferns. And some blue flowers. And some purple flowers too. So all the colors of the rainbow. All summer long, we pick them and bring them home. And when summer is over, we know we can grow our rainbow again next year. So that was our first book, Planting a Rainbow. And our second book, which is called The Tiny Seed by Eric Carle, we're going to see another way that seeds can grow. In our first book, someone intentionally planted the seeds. They wanted a garden to grow. But sometimes a seed just blows around and finds itself in a certain place and grows where it lands. And that's what this book, The Tiny Seed by Eric Carle, is about. It is autumn. A strong wind is blowing. It blows flower seeds high in the air and carries them far across the land. One of the seeds is tiny, smaller than any of the others. Will it be able to keep up with the others? And where are they all going? One of the seeds flies higher than the others. Up, up it goes. It flies too high, and the sun's hot rays burn it up. But the tiny seed sails on with the others. Another seed lands on a tall and icy mountain. The ice never melts, and the seed cannot grow. The rest of the seeds fly on, but the tiny seed does not go as fast as the others. Now they fly over the ocean. One seed falls into the water and drowns. The others sail on with the wind, but the tiny seed does not go as high as the others. One seed drifts down onto the desert. It is hot and dry, and the seed cannot grow. Now the tiny seed is flying very low, but the wind pushes it on with the others. Finally, the wind stops, and the seeds fall gently down on the ground. A bird comes by and eats one seed. The tiny seed is not eaten. It is so small that the bird does not see it. Now it is winter. After their long trip, the seeds settle down. They look just as if they are going to sleep in the earth. Snow falls and covers them like a soft white blanket. A hungry mouse that also lives in the ground eats a seed for his lunch. But the tiny seed lies very still, and the mouse does not see it. Now it is spring. After a few months, the snow has melted. It is really spring. Birds fly by, the sun shines, rain falls. The seeds grow so round and full, they start to burst open a little. Now they are not seeds anymore. They are plants. First, they send roots down into the earth. Then their little stems and leaves begin to grow up toward the sun and air. There is another plant that grows much faster than the new little plants. It is a big, fat weed, and it takes all the sunlight and the rain away from one of the small new plants, and that little plant dies. The tiny seed hasn't begun to grow yet. It will be too late. Hurry! But finally, it too starts to grow into a plant. The warm weather also brings the children out to play. They too have been waiting for the sun in springtime. One child doesn't see the plants as he runs along, and oh, he breaks one. Now it can't grow anymore. The tiny plant that grew from the tiny seed is growing fast, but its neighbor grows even faster. Before the tiny plant has 3 leaves, the other plant has 6. And look, a bud, and now even a flower. But what is happening? First, there are footsteps. Then a shadow looms over them. Then a hand reaches down and breaks off the flower. A boy has picked the flower to give to a friend. It is summer. Now the tiny plant from the tiny seed is all alone. It grows on and on. It doesn't stop. The sun shines on it and the rain waters it. It has many leaves. It grows taller and taller. It is taller than the people. It is taller than the trees. It is taller than the houses. And now a flower grows on it. People come from far and near to look at this flower. It is the tallest flower they have ever seen. It is a giant flower. All summer long, the birds and bees and butterflies come visiting. They have never seen such a big and beautiful flower. Now it is autumn again. The days grow shorter, the nights grow cooler, and the wind carries yellow and red leaves past the flower. Some petals drop from the giant flower, and they sail along with the bright leaves over the land and down to the ground. The wind blows harder. The flower has lost almost all of its petals. It sways and bends away from the wind, but the wind grows stronger and shakes the flower. Once more, the wind shakes the flower, and this time the flower's seed pod opens. out come many tiny seeds that quickly sail far away on the wind. And that's how it ends, just like it began, with tiny seeds flying through the air. Okay, and now we're going to do a little story about 5 spring flowers. Can you count the 5 flowers with me? We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, 5 spring flowers, all in a row. The first one said, "We need rain to grow." The second one said, "Yes, we need water." The third one said, "Oh my, it's getting hotter." The fourth one said, "I see clouds in the sky." The fifth one said, "I wonder why." Then, boom went the thunder and zap went the lightning. This spring storm was very frightening, but the flowers weren't worried. No, 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 for the rain helped them to grow, grow, grow. Okay, our next story today is a nonfiction book called Flowers, Learn About Plants. And grown-ups, it's important to read nonfiction or fact books to your preschooler because it's a way for them to learn about the world, to learn background knowledge so that when they learn to read on their own, they'll understand what it is that they're reading. So here we go. Flowers, Learn About Plants. What is a plant? A plant is a living thing. All living things need water, air, and sunlight to live. There are many different kinds of plants. Most plants have roots, leaves, flowers, and a stem. I'm surrounded by plants today. Did you see my lovely environment we have here? What is a flower? A flower is a part of a plant that grows from the stem. Flowers have many important jobs to do. They make pollen and seeds, which are needed to make new plants. What do flowers look like? Flowers come in many different shapes and sizes. Here we have a sunflower, a rose, a tulip, and a daffodil. Flowers are often bright and colorful. They often have a sweet smell too. This helps them attract insects. Bees like nectar, which can be found in flowers. How do flowers grow? Most plants grow 1 or more flower heads. In order to grow, the flower heads need water, air, and sunlight. A flower starts as a small bud that grows from the stem of a plant. When it is fully grown, the bud opens up into a flower. Parts of a flower. Flowers have many different parts, such as petals. The petals help protect the other parts of the flower. In the center of a flower are the stamens and the stigma. The stamens make the pollen. The stigma receives the pollen. So here in the yellow is the stigma, and the brown on the sides are the stamen. What do flowers do? A flower's job is to attract insects and other animals using its bright colors and sweet smells. Insects and other animals feed on the nectar flowers make. This butterfly is drinking nectar from a flower. When an insect visits a flower to drink its nectar, the flower's pollen sticks to its body. The pollen then falls off on the next flower the insect visits. The bee has pollen stuck to its body, all kinds of little bits of yellow. Once a flower has taken in pollen from another flower, it can make seeds. Some seeds are blown away by the wind and become buried in soil. That's what we just saw happen in the tiny seed book we just read, wasn't it? Once seeds have enough water and sunlight, they grow into new plants. Flowers in the garden. A gardener can water plants to help the flowers grow. Many people like to grow flowers in their gardens. There are also many flowers that grow in the wild. These are called wildflowers. Daffodils, bluebells, and daisies are often found growing in the wild. Strange flowers. Not all flowers smell nice. Rafflesia arnoldi is the largest flower on earth. It smells like rotting meat to attract flies. The black bat flower has black petals that make it look like a bat. And that's the end. And our last book today is called Zinnia's Flower Garden. And it, like our first book, Planting a Rainbow, is about someone who plants a garden so that they can enjoy it. Zinnia's Flower Garden by Monica Wellington. Spring has arrived. Zinnia is getting her garden ready for planting. She digs up the soil and turns it over with her shovel. She takes out stones and rakes the dirt smooth. The warm sun feels good as she works. Looks like she has some helpers with her too down here. Oh, and a mouse in the wheelbarrow. Zinnia carefully plants many kinds of flower seeds in rows. She covers the seeds with dirt and pats it all down very gently. She sprinkles the ground with water. Zinnia waits for the seeds to sprout. The seeds need the sun to shine, the rain to fall, and many days to pass. It is hard to wait so long for her seeds to grow. She's looking sad because nothing has sprouted in her garden yet. It is hard to wait. Every day, Zinnia checks her garden to see if anything has happened. Look, the first seedling is poking its way up through the dirt. Look how happy she is now to see that things are starting to grow. Now Zinnia's garden is full of green sprouts growing toward the sun. Little stems grow taller, little leaves get bigger, little roots burrow deeper into the earth. You can see all the green sprouts here. Zinnia takes care of her garden every day. When the sun is hot and the soil is dry, she waters her thirsty plants. She pulls up pesky weeds that try to crowd out her plants. She inspects them for greedy bugs. She measures how tall her strong and healthy plants are growing. Every day, they get bigger and bigger. Here she is with her ruler, seeing how tall they've gotten. First thing in the morning, Zinnia runs out to check her garden. She is excited to see little buds growing on many of her plants. And then at last, she finds what she has been waiting for, the first flower. One bud has bloomed. How beautiful, and what a sweet smell. There are many more buds that will open soon. The garden grows and grows with blossoming flowers. Zinnia paints, reads, and picnics among them. Butterflies flutter, bees buzz. Zinnia's garden is her favorite place to be on these warm summer days. Her flowers are abundant. That means there are a lot of them. And Zinnia cuts some to arrange into bouquets. The fragrant scents of the flower swirl around her in the warm breeze. And I don't know if you knew this, but a zinnia is a type of flower. So Zinnia is named after a flower herself. One hot summer day, Zinnia has a lemonade stand and puts up a sign. Pick your own flowers. Customers come and gather bunches of flowers and drop money in her jar. In the autumn, as it gets colder, Zinnia picks the last flowers from her garden. She finds ripe seeds that have formed. They are ready to be collected. She will save them to plant next year. The winter days are short. The sun is dim and the ground is covered with snow. But Zinnia is already planting next year's garden. When spring comes, she will be ready to grow her very own flowers again. And you might have gardens at your house that you help to take care of, and we would love to see pictures of them. So please feel free to share them with us if your grown-up says it's okay on Facebook or Instagram, and tag the library. Okay, boys and girls, we're going to end with a song. And our song today is called Three Little Tulips. And I'll sing it through first, and then maybe you could come in and help me sing it a second time. Okay? Three little tulips I once grew, a white one, a pink one, a red one too. One little tulip grew, grew, grew. It grew taller than the other two, the other two, the other two. It grew taller than the other two. Which color tulip grew taller than the other two? The red one. That's right. Would you like to sing it with me again? Okay, just join in when you can. Three little tulips I once grew, a white one, a pink one, a red one too. One little tulip grew, grew, grew. It grew taller than the other two, the other two, the other two. It grew taller than the other two. That was great. And to end today, I have some craft suggestions because, again, unfortunately, we can't be together to do the craft. So I'm going to give you some ideas of things that you hopefully have the supplies for to do at home. So our first craft idea is to make your very own paper plate flower. So all you need to have is a paper plate, maybe a popsicle stick. I painted mine green to look like the stem. And then I just cut a leaf out of some construction paper. And you just cut triangles out of the rim of your paper plate and then paint it however you would like. It doesn't have to look like mine at all. Be creative. You might even want to glue real seeds onto the center of your flower. I just painted mine on. But that's our first craft idea. And our second one is to create a beautiful picture using toilet paper flower stamps. So what you'll do for this one is take different paper towel, actually they're not paper towel, are they? They're toilet paper rolls, and cut out different shapes on the top. I made some different ones here. And then you can either paint these parts of the toilet paper tube, or you could put a little bit of paint on a paper plate and push the toilet paper tube down into them like a stamp. And then you put them on your paper and you can make your own beautiful garden at home. And all you need again is toilet paper rolls and some paint. And then afterwards I came and painted yellow centers in each of my flower. And this one, just for some added green, I put on a stem and some petals. So that's another idea of something you can try at home. And again, please share your beautiful creations with us. On Instagram, if you'd like to tag the library, it is a hashtag BPChildren's DEPT. And Facebook, just tag the Bethel Park Public Library. Thank you for joining me today, and let's end our story time with a song. We wave goodbye like this, we wave goodbye like this. With our friends at story time, we wave goodbye like this. We clap goodbye like this. We clap goodbye like this. With our friends at story time, we clap goodbye like this. We stomp goodbye like this. We stomp goodbye like this. With our friends at story time, we stomp goodbye like this. Goodbye, everyone. Thanks for joining me. Enjoy your gardens.